Sitting here yapping. Steph infection, listeners, viewers, here we are. I got a great guest today. She's fucking hilarious. Sarah Lawrence, hi.
Hi.
Look at this.
Oh, I look 400.
No, you don't.
It's fine.
Thank you. This is fun because you're one of those people that we've met and we've hung out a little bit, but this is like our first hangout on a podcast.
Very exciting.
The best time.
Very excited. I was like, we're going to be best friends.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Because I remember I saw you at the Improv Lab killing, and that is a very hard room.
I was going to quit comedy. I was like, I hate everything. I fucking suck. This is the worst. I didn't want to do the show, especially in the lab. I'm like, I'm going to go and bomb just like I always do because that room sucks. Everybody knows. You've heard it.
Yes.
On every fucking podcast that anyone's ever talked about. And then I went up and crushed it for some reason.
You did.
And then you went up after me and then you crushed it. And then I was like, she's fucking awesome. And then I was glad that I did well, or else you'd be like, she's horrific. I never want to see this person ever again.
Look, that does happen. If you see somebody once have a offset, that's it.
Or if I became like really good friends with somebody and I'm like, I can't get too close until I've seen you go up. Because if you're not funny, it's like such a turn off. Even if it's a girl, I had this friend who was a girl and we were getting really close. And then I saw her go up and I was like, we can't be friends anymore.
No, I literally was friends with these two comics out here and I had to kind of stop.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't find them funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't.
You
and
can't.
then I don't want to be associated. I feel bad, but I was like, it's just.
Yeah. That's like.
It's bizarre.
Amir was, because we got together during the pandemic and he was worried because he'd never seen me.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm funny, I promise. And he was like, oh God. And then the first time he saw me, he like gave me the biggest hug. He was like, I'm so glad you're funny.
Oh my, that's so hilarious to date someone without knowing. Also, I would have judged you in the lab.
You wouldn't have?
No.
Okay. But you can still tell like from my material, if I was like, I don't know, this girl, I can't say what her material is, but it was it wouldn't have done well anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was just something that I didn't relate to and I just couldn't.
It's wild how we can judge people like that. Like they could be the nicest people ever. And I'm like,
yeah, she's lovely.
Like,
she's
funny.
Lovely, but not in, I can't.
You can't do it. You can't do it. And that's that. And there it is. And here we are. And you've been listening to the pod. You know how it works. You know the segments, you know the whole stuff, which is not, I don't listen to anyone's podcast. Actually, I just started listening to, it's the Always Sunny podcast.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's so good.
It's
and I was
great.
like advertising another podcast on my own podcast. Listen to this.
There's one. I rented a Tesla. I sound like a douche. I rented a Tesla for one day because I was like, I wanted to see how it works if I want to get an electric car. There's an episode of It's Always Sunny, and Glenn, is his name Glenn in real life?
Sorry.
It's his name, Glenn Howerton. He was talking about how his Tesla, like the key died, and then the phone app didn't work, and then he parked the Tesla underground on a and then so he couldn't start the car because the phone didn't have any reception in the car and then he couldn't tow it and then they couldn't troubleshoot because he couldn't get into the thing because he couldn't call Tesla while he was in the car, and I was like, fuck this car. Anyway.
Oh God.
Always Sunny podcast is fucking great.
It is good. You also said before we started, you asked, as an avid listener, you asked if my boyfriend has said I love you back, which he has.
Yeah, he has.
He has. Yes. And it's interesting to bring this up because yesterday we were having sexual intercourse.
Okay.
I'm going to start bringing the whole word back. And as we were fucking, I was on top and then he went, I love you, in my ear. Stop. And I panicked. No one's ever said they love me during sex before. And I literally went, I love your cock. And I didn't know what to say. I ruined the fucking moment. But I was like, did you get that a lot?
People saying I love you in sex?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not for the first time.
No, it wasn't the first time he said that. No, my
okay.
God. Ew, that would have been, I would have broke up with it. I would have called the police. I was like, no, you love my pussy. You don't love me. But I was like, Aaron, have you done this before? Have you said you love somebody during sex? Yeah.
Was it like slow or was he like...
No, it was slow. It was like a romantic thrust, I guess.
Okay.
But I guess I'm just used to men being so disgusting. Like, you dirty little whore, open up your ass. And I'm like, ah! So it literally threw me off.
You haven't been in a relationship in 8 years.
Yes, that's the issue.
Yeah. And what was it? The guy when you were your first boyfriend?
Yeah.
Was the first guy that you were like in love with?
Yes.
So it's been a while since you've had a trusting partner who's going to say nice things. And that's why this is so important and so special, because for me, I've had 10 boyfriends, and that's too many.
That's
That's too many.
how long were these
Years.
years?
Yeah, yeah.
10. How long? And you and Amir have been together now? 3
2
years?
years.
2? Okay.
Almost 2.5 years. But this is the longest relationship I've ever been in.
Oh.
But I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna die alone. I honestly don't care. I'm so over it. I have had my share of relationships.
Yes.
You do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I'm the opposite of you. I was like, I don't want to meet anyone. I don't give a fuck. I hate everyone. Just let me die alone in a bathtub with a cat and I'm happy. So I don't know what my point was.
Your point is that men are horrible and we know.
They're honestly, dude, I was talking to my mom last night. I was like, I don't know what to do because it doesn't seem like anybody's having a different experience. Everybody's leaving their towel out. Why can't you have a shower, dry yourself, and put the towel in the fucking rack? I don't get it.
It is very
It's
bizarre.
everyone.
No, it's the clump, and then they get the moldy smell and then
Yeah.
the stink. I will say Zach is clean. That's one thing that I'm really, because I don't deal with. I got a sniffer on me. I'm sniffing. Literally right now, he shit so bad this morning that I'm convinced the shit got into my towel. And now I'm poo-poo, I'm caca. I'm shit particles. Like, it smelled so bad. I was so mad.
That's real. I wonder about the back wall behind the toilet. That wall is
that's
just poop,
shit.
right? And have you ever cleaned the back wall behind the toilet? I haven't.
Maybe once, but like I did a scrub down. I keep my toothbrush in a thing.
Yeah.
When people have them out in the sink, I'm like, that's shit.
Yeah.
The particles, if you don't see them, they fly up onto the toothbrush.
Have you read that there's an article, when you flush the toilet, the force of the water that goes whoosh, like this, it pushes all the particles out. So that's why when you flush it, you have to close the lid.
Oh my
It's
God.
disgusting.
No,
I'm glad
I
I'm
keep
not
it
a
in.
germaphobe. Yeah.
And I'm like, I know the electric ones. I'm like, I don't care. I'll charge it in another room and then I'll put it back into a cabinet because I can't have them flopping around.
Right.
Disgusting. Who told me a story about somebody was it on this fucking podcast? Somebody fucked themselves with the end of a plunger.
Somebody did.
Somebody did that.
Did they put a condom on it? Because that sounds like splinters.
They got splinters, but I was like, to me, it was worse. It was the shit. It was the shit particles. You're putting somebody else's shit in your ass shit. Like, there's too much shit going on.
You're getting a UTI for immediately.
It's less about the fucking...
So I want to know what you said when you said, I love your cock. What did he say? What did
He
love?
got really quiet, and then we conveniently finished up after that. And then like an hour later, he was like, do you not love me anymore? And I'm like, what? Don't this. It took him fucking 3 days to say back to me. I was like, yeah. He's like,
3 days is not bad. I thought it was going to be like a couple months.
No, but I also didn't want to fucking say it first. I fucking shouldn't have.
You definitely can't. I wanted to say it I wanted to say it like 2 weeks in, and I was like, shut up, you goddamn bitch. There were so many times I wanted to say it.
You stupid fucking
So
bitch.
many times. And then he said it first, and I was like,
Thank God.
yeah.
Were you at the improv party last night? I figured I'd see you there. I didn't see you there.
We literally went in. It was perfect because we went in, hey, ordered some food, ate the food, got the fuck out of there. It was perfect.
That is nice.
perfect.
Do you not drink?
I haven't. I do, but I haven't drank for almost 6 months because there's a problem with my liver.
Oh.
I thought, okay, so the Steph infection.
Let's get into
Welcome.
this.
Okay.
This is nice.
So I was
nice.
getting.
Because your liver sucks. Let's hear all about it.
But this is perfect for Steph infection. I forgot. I was getting recurrent UTIs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept going to the urgent care and blah, blah, blah. And they kept going, no. I don't want to take antibiotics again. What can we do? And so they sent me to a urologist. So the urologist said, maybe you've got some kidney stones or something in there. Something's not. So I go to get an ultrasound on my bladder.
Uh-huh.
The bladder results come back and they go, your bladder's fine, but your liver is 3 times the size that it's supposed to be. So your liver is supposed to be like 7 centimeters and mine is like 18.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they go, it might just be because you're a giant. Or
that's nice.
You might be like dying of liver cancer. So they said, stop
Those are the
drinking.
options.
Sort of. I don't really.
Okay.
It's not like I mean, I have drunk a lot in my life, but it's not like leading up to this diagnosis or whatever it is that I was like getting shithoused every night. I was getting drunk maybe once every 2 months. It was nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think I have done a lot of damage in the past because, I've been binge drinking for 20 years, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I am 5.5 months, not sober, but haven't drank in 5.5 months. And I have my liver scan in 2 weeks because they were like, stop drinking immediately. And I said, oh, well, I can have like a glass of wine with dinner, right? And she was like, no, you can have nothing. So I'm almost 6 months down.
Shit.
And then I get the scan in 2 weeks. And then we find out if I'm dying or not. So
Well,
yeah. So
okay. Fuck. That's concerning.
I am pretty confident because I'm a giant. Only four people last night told me how tall I was.
Because how tall are you?
I fucking hate it. Almost 6'1", I feel like.
That's not even that tall.
It's tall for a fucking lady.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be a little cute little baby, and I'm this giant. I'm taller than everyone in the room. I fucking hate it.
But you're hot. If you were tall and like a monster woman, then I'd be like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, what? Okay, is that an impression of me?
No. Oh my God, that was pretty accurate. My labia. Fucking sir, look directly into my labia.
Thank you. I should have a segment on every podcast called "Let's Make Fun of Steph for a Bit" and have people do their exact impressions of me.
It's perfect, dude.
It is. People do like impressions. Actually, I'm going to do a show. I think I did it years ago called 50 First Stephs, where people did 50 comics and impressions of me.
That's so
and it
funny.
was so fun. It's pretty much a roast of me.
A show?
Yeah, and I'm going to do it again this year.
50 people.
Yeah, but I'm going to do 100. I'm going to do 100
How long does
First
the show
Stephs.
go for?
Everyone does like a minute. And I sit on stage. It's pretty much
That's
a
a long time.
large roast of me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get. I'm gonna do it.
Everyone's got to come.
I host it. I sit on stage and go, all right, next, and I kick people off.
Next, and then I come and go, all right, next.
It is a lot of that. It's very fun. I'm gonna donate money to charity, maybe a UTI charity, but
That's a great idea.
Anyway, back to liver, because this is concerning because I'm like I drink a lot and I never even thought to get my liver looked at, and I'm sure lots of listeners.
Well, I've been on Accutane. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
So I've been on that 3 times. That's really bad for your liver, and you're not supposed to drink when you're on it. And the last time the second time I was on it, 3 fucking times. The second time I was on it, I was drinking just a lot. I had just moved to America and I was getting shithoused all the time.
Well, yeah, when you're fucking, this is a hellscape.
You're not supposed to. Yes, exactly. And I
move
just
her.
got here. I was like, I was doing what I didn't know anyone, so I was just going out with whoever, whatever, every day, doing whatever. So you're absolutely 100% not supposed to drink when you're on it because it's so bad for your liver anyway. Okay. So I've already been on it 3 times, and I was drinking on it, and
Yeah.
So it's. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Well, okay, we'll find out in 2 weeks. I feel like you're gonna be good because you stopped.
I think it's fine.
You're fine. Also, UTIs, having that many, absolute nightmare. Mm-hmm. It is a knife in your urethra spinning around. It is the worst fucking feeling. And like when you're like you have to be, but then that one burning drip comes out. You're like, what is
you're
this?
Just like you're sitting there for so fucking long.
Fucking long as hell.
I actually passed a kidney stone.
Through your pee hole?
Okay, so the last time I was on Accutane was, what year are we in?
2022.
2022. So I finished February 2021, and then I had this. So I had, because I also have I have a broken pelvis. I mean, fuck.
You're telling me you have no stories, and you're coming in here with 58.
I got stories. Okay, so I had. So when I was 16, I like broke my pelvis. I had fractures in my pubic bone, and so I had basketball.
Okay.
So I had surgery when I was 19, and it's been sore ever since. So I've been in pain for 20 years.
Shit.
And so in February of 2021, I couldn't walk. It was like so painful. I was like, I gotta fix this. Enough is enough. It's been 20 fucking years. So I went to like a specialist, and they said that I actually have. It's called femoral-articular hip impingement, which means like this is your hip bone and this is like a normal thing. Mine is like this. So every time you walk, it kind of hits it. And so he said, yeah, well, all we got to do is just shave this.
So lightly shave the bone
just
down.
shave it out.
Casual shavings.
With the tool I made. Because I go, how do you get the shavings out as you're shaving it? And he's like, well, I invented like a vacuum tool. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
This is
only
Professor
20
Shave.
grand. Yeah.
Only 20 grand.
I was like,
shavings.
I'll let you know.
And you're like, I'll be keeping those shavings for later.
Yeah,
I'm paying
in a jar.
$20,000.
So I went for, they injected dye into my hips to do something or other.
Stuff, yeah.
And so I had just gotten off Accutane, which means my whole body was like dry. Then the dye that they inject, it was like a perfect storm of coming off Accutane, getting the dye injected. They missed my hip and like injected my bladder or something. So I got a bit in my bladder.
God.
It affected my bladder. Yeah. And then I got kidney stones. I was like, my back hurts. Fucking da da da. I go to the doctor because my friend was like, you got to go to the doctor. I was like, oh my God, I feel so fucking bad. It's pissing blood. I go to the doctor. They go, you've just passed a kidney stone. Fucking jabbed me in the ass with a shot. It's just a never-ending.
Did you see the kidney stone come out, or you knew something fucking felt crazy?
Something I was like, because I felt it, because I was like, yeah, and then I was like, and then it was like, and then the guy did all the tests, and he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was because it was like I said, perfect storm of like being dehydrated, and then the diet dehydrates you, blah blah blah. Got a shot, and then I was fine, but.
Wow,
that's not even the story that I was going to tell you.
I know. Well, we're getting to that story, but fucking passing a kidney stone through I feel like our pee holes are smaller than guys' pee holes.
I don't think it was a proper sized one. It can't have been because I don't think you can.
I feel like it's small down there, isn't it?
It's like a COVID. You remember the little COVID emojis with the points?
No.
Remember when the green on the news?
Oh yes. The little.
That's what I imagine it like, one of those ball and chain from the. Medieval times. That's what I imagine the pea
Oh my
stone
god,
is.
I picture like just a big rock, like a big boulder.
Yeah, but it's jagged.
Yeah.
It's jagged.
No, it is definitely jagged.
It's gotta be jagged.
Aaron, have you ever passed a kidney stone?
Well,
we can't have his opinion.
Oh, and by the way, men never get UTIs. The guy kept telling me like a woman's urethra passage.
Yeah. I know all about this.
My urethra passage is like this big. So if you get something in here, it's like whoop, bang, you're fucked. You got an infection. A guy's thing is like this big. They never get UTIs.
Oh, so God. And that's on like meds and stuff. But yeah, we get them literally. I found out the other day. You don't fucking piss right after sex. I'm like, something's going on in there. It's all sauced up.
Yep.
You moved here how long have you been here?
2014. Excuse me.
2014.
I told her I'm not sick, it's allergies.
Yeah, and we're going to get to the allergy thing in 2 seconds because I've been covered in hives for 3 weeks. I was just in Vegas with my parents. They met Zach this weekend. I know. And all of a sudden we were in the Blue Man Group show, and I was like,
wait, you were in it?
No, I was watching it. Okay. Yeah, I was sitting there, like, and I was like, I'm up there. I mean, I am good friends with the guy who is a Blue Man, so cool. It was hilarious. They brought my mom on stage. Usually my mom is very over the top, but for once in her life, she played it perfectly. And then after the show, everyone's like, there's a woman that was on stage. And mom was like, that was me. And I'm like, all right, you're done now. You got your attention. Sit the fuck down. But I was covered so bad. I used to get hives really badly. And
what a hive is just like a big itchy bump?
Yes, but I had them all over my arms, my full chest, and my face, and my eyes started shutting. I get like really big ones in my eyeballs, and they start closing. And then my eyebrows were looking like behemoth. Like, what's that? Like, Neanderthal eyebrows out, and
you had a hives in your
on top of the lids. Oh, so I had to get this fucking like I had to go. My mom's friend had stuff. I took it, and it took like an hour to kick in, but it was like something's up. I don't know if it's detergent, but I've just been covered in hives. But okay, you moved here from.
Wait, how do you get rid of it? You get a shot or?
I don't know. I'm allergic to something. I don't know what the fuck it is.
The sun.
The sun is one.
Call back.
We're allergic to the sun, and now we're. You know this podcast more than I do. What? Okay, you moved here from Australia.
No.
Where are you from? New Zealand? I thought you were from Australia.
No, I moved here from Dubai.
Wait.
Yeah, and then before Dubai, I was in England for 2 years. So
why do you think you're Australian?
I am Australian.
Oh, okay.
But everyone's like, you moved from Australia? And I'm like, no. And then I gotta... So I am from Australia. My mom's from New Zealand.
Okay.
So technically I'm home, you know.
Okay.
I'm from Perth, which is the left.
Yes.
So like Australia's like this. It's here.
Yes. Okay.
So it's like LA and New York. I'm LA.
Okay, you're way over there.
And Perth is the most isolated city in the whole world. And that's a real thing. Yeah, that makes it sound like we're in Iceland or something. Yeah, it's fine. It's just meters wise.
There's like nothing around it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I used to play Aussie rules football. Did you know that?
Did you?
Yeah, I made the Canadian national team. It's
Shut
my
up.
Brag. I always brag
what
for
the
men.
Fuck?
That's my big brag. I know. I played lacrosse for years, and then my friend was like, "This sport sucks," because I was very physical. She's like, "Join this league with me," and I'm like, "What is this sport?"
Wait, lacrosse sucks because it's too physical?
Well, I get in trouble because you can't do anything women's field lacrosse. You can't be physical. So this girl I played with was like, "You're really good. I think you want to play this sport. It's full tackle." And I was like, well, you don't ask me twice.
Oh my
God. It's big in Canada. So there's 7 women's teams and like 10 male teams. Oh yeah, I played for the Blues in Toronto.
The fuck
yeah,
up.
I played for literally 5 years in Toronto. Oh yeah. I was fit as fuck. I had the fastest 3K time in all of Canada for tryouts. And then I got into alcohol and that went a-ta-ta. I used to be good. I used to be a very good runner and I was very good at tackling.
How old were you, 16?
No, I was 25, 26, 27.
You didn't get into alcohol at 26 though.
No, but I got way more into stand-up at 27, and that's when I started really hammering back the booze.
Yeah, right.
I was drinking a lot before, but then, this makes it happen. But yeah, that's my huge brag that I always talk about.
That's
why.
fucking sick.
And I wanted to go to Australia
Yeah, to
play.
I've never seen a women's team. I feel
they're
like
fucking good. It's crazy.
I'm also very out of touch, so I don't really belong anywhere. So I don't know what's going on in Australia. I'm assuming there's Australian teams now, women teams now.
Yeah.
So you were going to go to Australia to play
in the big playoffs, but then it's the same year I got my first ever festival in Canada.
Oh.
The Halifax Festival, so I chose that. And also you have to pay your way out. I was like, athletes have to pay to do all this shit? I'm like, it's just like comedy. When you're starting, you have to pay your own shit. It was a nightmare. But I was like, fuck this. And then I joined a team when I came to LA, and then I broke a rib immediately. And I was like, I don't have health insurance, so I'm not doing this anymore.
How much was that? Oh, you can't do anything?
No, broken ribs are nothing. You just fucking loiter around with them. I was like, this is stupid. Okay, Australia, we need to get to Dubai for a second here.
Okay, so I left home at 21. Perth, I went to Melbourne for like acting. Perth is like very small, whatever. I was like, I conquered it here. Everything's great. I went to Melbourne for like acting, whatever, and then nothing was happening over there. I was modeling also.
Excuse me, just drop that.
I mean, it's like
I was just modeling also
because that's the only way that I was making money, but. It's fine. Because I realized that I moved there for acting, but I didn't get any acting work, and my agent would always be like, "Look, well, this guy, we just booked this guy this job, and this guy this job," and I'm like, okay. So
what can I do?
I'm glad for that.
Yeah,
thanks.
But me now.
Anyway, moved there, did for 2 years, and then I met a British guy. Mm-hmm. We then moved to England together.
Okay.
Broke up 3 months later. Horrible relationship.
Yeah,
it was horrible. We shouldn't have. I mean, I was 24 or whatever.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So then we moved to his parents' house in a village with 150 people.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Moved to London, broke up. I was in London for 2 years, and then I started DJing.
In London?
In London.
Okay.
Then I got a DJ contract in Dubai. And I was like,
okay.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, I can't pay my rent here, so it looks like I'm fucking off. And actually, I moved to Abu Dhabi first. That was where the contract was. And then they fucked me over. That was a huge scam. And then I had to it was horrible, worst time of my life. And then I was in Abu Dhabi for 3 months. Then I moved to Dubai for 2 years. And then from Dubai, I moved to LA.
Okay. And were you doing stand-up in Dubai?
I wasn't doing stand-up until 2018.
Okay. So you came here before you were doing stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So I started very late, and I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
I just never even thought about it. Everyone, this sounds dumb too, but everyone's like, you're so funny, you should do stand-up. I'm like, nothing. And then one time someone said, oh yeah, that's so funny, you just did a callback. And I was like, what's just a callback? Nothing registered ever. I never thought about it. I never thought it was an option. I just didn't even, nothing. And then I had the worst time in my entire life. In 2018, my whole life crumbled and had a terrible time. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try this thing. I may as well fucking, and then I did the Pretty Funny Women. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes.
Pretty Funny Women class, and was like, oh, this is it. I found it. And I was like, I can finally, your whole life you're told, well, you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't act like that, and you're not allowed to say this. And it's like, oh, I can finally say all those things. I knew that I was okay to say these fucking things and be with these people who think the same as me and who talk the same way as me. And I'm finally feel like I'm with my people. And
I also I think it's not stupid that you said, when people said to you, you should do stand-up. I find it alarming when people get into stand-up and no one ever said that to them.
Yeah, right.
I didn't, when I was in high school, I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be an SNL. I wanted to be a comedic actress. That was my whole goal. And then...
Would you still do that? Would you still want to do that?
SNL?
Yeah.
No, they hate me. I've never gone to a live audition.
Oh.
I was with Melissa. Oh yeah, I send every year. I've been sending a tape since I started. Melissa was like, why are you, I've had Melissa and Bob Moynihan on the podcast.
Really?
Like, why are you on it? I'm like, I love to know. Now I'm too old. Now I'm like, I'm tired. I go to bed at 10 if I don't have a show.
But I've been reading or listening or whatever, that their schedule, I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
It's fucked.
No.
Because I value my sleep more than anything, and they're not sleeping.
No, they're not sleeping. And also I have a golden retriever. I don't go near. Anyways, but if Lauren Michaels, if you're listening, I would love to audition.
You'd be sick.
But every teacher, every one of my high school teachers was like, you need to do stand-up. All my friends like, you need to do stand-up. And I was like, and then literally my two drama teachers were like, you're doing stand-up comedy. I'm sorry, this is your path.
Wow.
You can act, but you're very, very funny and witty. You need to do this. And I was like, okay. Wow. And then I tried it and then I loved it. But back to Dubai for 2 seconds.
I also was always like, when people said that, I was like, okay, you don't get it though. I think this is going to sound like I'm blowing smoke up your ass, whatever, but not that I respected it too much, but I was just like, this doesn't make sense. I go there, and I would explain this to people. There's a difference between me sitting with my friend who I've known for 10 years and telling you a story about something funny that's happened to me and having you laugh.
Yes.
Me then taking that story onto stage in front of a bunch of people who don't know me, who probably fucking hate me, and me going, oh, me and my friend John the other day, we did this funny thing. Like, you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's not, there's a disconnect. That's not the same thing. So thank you so much for saying that. I'm not going to do it because it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
And I met, when I was 21, I met Russell Brand and his manager at a show in Melbourne. And she said the same thing. She was like, oh my God, you should do stand-up, da-da-da. I'm going to not manage yours. She said something like, I can't remember, but I remember I went home and I tried to like write a joke or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this, what? It doesn't work.
It wasn't the right time.
And just forgot about it forever.
That's
and was
so
like, yeah,
funny.
I can't do it. But yeah.
That's wild. But you're doing well now. So, okay. The reason I was
yes.
up in Dubai is because I was there doing shows about a year ago.
Oh, God.
And I'll tell you right now, I don't love Dubai. No. I've talked about it before. Actually, I'm wearing my necklace today from Dubai. So,
Death to women.
It probably does. I got this necklace made. Everyone's like, go get gold. Go buy gold in Dubai.
Okay.
Okay, I'll buy gold. I went to some fucking thing. I'm like, let's buy gold. I go, I want to say Steph. Okay, Steph. I write it down. He goes, you crazy with me? I'm like, yeah. I go back. It's like $450. I go, I never have bought a necklace like that in my life. Everything else is fucking cheap. Amazon, fucking not real.
I'm so nervous.
I'm walking around Dubai and someone's like, I think after a show, and someone's like, oh, who's Steve? And I went, sorry? They go, who's Steve? I'm like, who the fuck's Steve? They're like, your necklace says Steve. And I'm like, I'm going to kill myself. Because my first boyfriend's name also was Steve.
Oh, no.
So I was like jokingly going to give it to my dad and be like, you love Steve more than me. You still talk to him. Here's the... Dubai was an absolute nightmare. And I know I've talked about it before in this podcast because I don't know how a woman would live there. They don't like women there.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that women just started driving literally like, what, 2-3 years ago?
That was Saudi Arabia.
This is nuts.
Saudi Arabia, they couldn't drive. Dubai, you could drive. But also Saudi Arabia, you know how they have this? They made it at a certain point, you could only have one eye showing. No. Because they thought 2 eyes, you could still seduce someone with your eyes, but one eye was harder to seduce someone with. Isn't that wild? Because they think they were trying to fuck everyone.
Which it is, and I understand that's a different way of life, and I don't get that, but I'm just like, as a tourist even going in, I was like, it's not as nice. It was fine, but it was just like a lot of things made me feel uncomfortable, and I felt like bad for the other women.
It's like you know when, like, let's say you're walking down the street and there's like a group of guys and they're all like, who fucking like turn around and like check you out, and then they see that you're looking at, they see, oh shit, she caught us. So they turn around, they go, oops. They don't do that. They'll just. They don't look away. And then I was like, I remember I was like walking to yoga one time and I was like, and I started like yelling. I was like, fuck, like stop looking at me. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Because they're all just like leering like this. And I'm just going, you're supposed to see that I've caught your eye and then go,
and be
like
embarrassed. Yeah.
But just didn't break like this. And then I'm just walking across like an empty car park, just, there's no cover. I can't do anything. 3 grown men just fucking looking at me. And it was horrible.
Also, the women there, my biggest problem with Dubai was the women treated women like dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Because there's 2 types of women in Dubai. There's the women who live there who are, covered and...
It wasn't them, it was the expats.
Oh.
These fucking expats that were... All the women that lived there were nothing. I didn't really have a lot of interactions with them. Some that are from there, I had a couple of nice conversations. They were very kind. Everyone who worked at the hotels was unbelievably nice and like friendly. But I had 2 experiences with the 2 women from Britain.
Like Emirates people?
Yeah, I think so.
People? Yeah.
I don't know exactly what they did. One woman was so fucking rude to me, I almost fought her. I said if we were in America, I would fucking punch you in the face right now.
Where were you? What happened?
I had shows, and the woman who booked the shows, I've talked about so much shit about, but she was so fucking horrible to me. She treated me like I was dog shit. The other comics got full intros, and I got, up next, the lady. And I'd be like, what? And then I'd go on stage and be like, hello? It was a nightmare. And the other comics, Comedy Central, you've seen them on, and I'm like, I have credits, bitch.
Was she a comic?
No, she thinks she is. She hosts this fucking thing. It's a nightmare. If you ever get asked to do these shows, don't do them. And then this other woman, like literally, I get off stage, this guy's like, oh, my friend hated you. And I was like, what? And this girl's like, yeah, you were fucking shit. And I was like, I'm literally gonna punch you in the
my
face. And I was like,
God.
what? She goes, I hated it. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? I go, how dare you? I go, do you treat all women like this? Like, what do you fuck? I don't care. Don't fucking talk to me. And then I'm like, she, yeah, women just aren't funny. I'm like, you don't find any of your women friends funny. And her friend saying, was that a friend right now? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do you find her funny? She's like, no. And her friend was like, oh. And I was like, this is a garbage human being. And I swear to God, I literally looked in the eyes and I was like, if we were anywhere else right now, I'd beat the fucking shit out of you. I'd kick your ass. I don't care that you're fucking a monster over top of me. You'd be hurting right now.
Was she a prostitute?
No.
Okay, it's a lot of those.
If she was a prostitute, she fucking needs to do a lot of work because she's a heinous woman. Hideous. I don't want to be rude, but she was a dumb cunt. She was a bitch. If you're listening,
Oh, wow.
I hate you. From England. She also looked like a bird. It's always the women that are like, you can tell you're bullied by men a lot, and now you're taking it out on me for no reason.
Yeah, everyone is so hurt. Huh?
I get worked up with Dubai. I'm glad you're out of Dubai. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so you're here. Let's get into what do you want to talk about for the main thing here?
Well, it was. Are we running out of time?
No, we got some
So
time.
it was the hemorrhoid.
And so you've seen me talk about my hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
Very openly.
Yeah, and so I was excited because I want you to now. Is it still there? And you're just popping it in.
No. Mine's never been out. I got an innie.
Okay, well everybody has 3 inside.
Oh, then I have 3.
So get this.
What's this? What do
Okay,
you mean 3?
so I had, and I got another one.
I had Solomon Giorgio. If you're getting ready to the hemorrhoid episodes, he had them so bad he got them removed.
Yeah, I got one removed.
Okay, let's get into
Okay.
this. Okay.
So I have one now. I got to get it removed as well.
Everybody will have a hemorrhoid at some point in your life.
Yeah,
You're
so-
sitting there
yeah,
right now
so,
thinking you don't.
yes.
You do.
This is why I don't know why, because like I said, I tried to do a bit about it. It's very fucking funny because the doctor is a legend and he's so funny. He does bits with you. And he was like, you're the best patient I've ever had. I was like, yeah, because we were just joking back and forth and like my butt is open and his head is in my ass and he's going, you doing okay down there? And I'm like, are you doing okay back there? You know, we were having such a good little back and forth. And the first thing he does, by the way,
It's like an Abbott and Costello fucking
it's so
hemorrhoid
funny,
act
dude.
here.
It's so funny. And the first thing he does, he tapes my. Okay, so wait. So
Tapes.
yeah. Okay. So I had a hemorrhoid. It was getting bad. It got much worse.
Outside.
Yeah, outside.
Okay.
You can feel it. You can see it.
Yeah.
It's fine. So it's getting much worse. And then I was like, oh my God, it got to the point where I was like, I couldn't sleep this one night. And I went to the guy thinking that he's just going to give me some cream and send me on my way.
Yeah.
He goes, yep, we got a thing. We got to get rid of it right now. And I'm like, oh, can I just make an appointment and come back? And he's like, no, let's just do it. It's $4,000, by the way.
$4,000
Yeah.
per roid.
It's $4,000.
Wow, that's where the money's at in this town, huh?
But I'm like, why?
Snipping those roids.
What makes you want to work up in someone's butthole?
Yeah, how'd you get into that?
How'd you get into it?
There's those sickos out there.
It's
Those sick pigs.
so the guy made me feel very comfortable. He literally comes in, he puts some numbing cream on the thing. And by the way, so you just bend over.
So your shirt's still on.
You're on a table just like this. And you just
And that's
have
it.
A pillow.
Okay,
you just
thank
like
God.
this. You have a pillow here, and they put a piece of paper from here to here,
And then they spread your ass.
and then they go
Or
like
do you
this.
spread your ass?
No, because your ass is open like this. It's open.
Okay, it's open like that. Well, I didn't realize it opened like that.
Everyone needs to watch the video. So there's a piece of paper like this, and then they just put a line down it. So you're not like this.
Yeah.
So there's a line, and so then he just goes in. He goes, yep, there's a thing. He numbs it.
Does he done the whole hole or just the roid part?
Numbs a
Must-
roid.
Okay.
So by the way, this guy is I fucking love this guy. This guy is there's only 2 guys, I think, in the whole of California. They do this method. So when you get it out, they like stitch it. And stitching is not good because 1, it leaves a scar. 2, like if you pop the stitch, you're fucked.
Yeah.
All this stuff, it's not good. So he cauterizes it. Yeah. So he puts a little rubber band on the thing
On the roid.
and he snips it. So first of all, they inject. Okay, so wait, I'm so excited.
Whoa.
So we've decided. Yep. Okay. Cool. Fuck it. Let's
Getting
do
rid
it.
of
Let's
it.
get it out. We're already here. I'm bent over your fucking table. So first thing he does is he gets duct tape and he puts your butt open and tapes your butt cheeks to the table like this. So your butt's just taped open.
God.
And then first thing he says,
tape choice though.
Dude, yeah. And the first thing he says is, but you never had your butt cheeks taped open before. And then my bit, I go, you don't know me. You know.
Okay.
You know, I think it's quite funny. I go, you don't know me, sir. Because everyone I go, bet your butt cheeks never taped open before. And then everyone laughs. And then I go, you don't know me, sir. And then that's supposed to laugh. And then that's the only part of the bit that works. And so so it's taped open. The tape is on the table.
Oh, so you know he does this bit all the time.
Yeah,
this is his. He's so ready when he's like, I bet you. Okay.
Yeah. So then he gets a little rubber band, he tapes the thing off, and then they inject. Well, first of all, they inject you with the numbing thing, and he's like, you know, how does it feel? Whatever. I was like, you told me, you know. Anyway, really? So you can't feel a thing. He does the rubber band, and then you can hear him like snip, 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 snip. Cuts it off. Then he comes in. Don't feel anything.
Okay.
Don't feel anything.
Okay.
And we're just fucking joking around.
He's
just
really having a laugh.
He's loving a good. He's having a good time. Then he gets a little Iron Maiden gets the little
cauterizing thing,
and you can just hear it.
Like you're getting branded. Like your anus is getting branded.
My butt's beautiful. And he's also like, he's like a cosmetic guy. So if you've got a couple little, not fissures, got a couple little tags, you can like cut them. He's like a plastic surgeon, beautiful, you know.
Roids.
Yeah, so he cauterizes it, and you're done.
That's it.
Took 15 minutes, done. And you go home. I got some drugs, and I was like thinking, because I don't like to take drugs to. I thought that I was like better than the drug. I was like, oh, I'll be fine. You know, I'm like, Australian, look, I'm fine. I don't need any painkillers. And then after about an hour, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to get home and take these drugs immediately. Because that's the only time that it hurt, only because I lapsed in the drugs. But if you take them, you're fine.
Yeah.
And then I woke up in the middle of the night in pain, took some more drugs, fine. And then never felt it ever again for the whole time. And then you just have to have like 3 baths a day. I was like, what would I do if I worked in an office? Like, you're lucky I work from home or whatever. Yeah. So you just have like a 20-minute bath in the morning, 20-minute bath.
With anything in the tub, like a Epsom salt or anything, or just nothing?
No, I think it's just hot water. Okay. Because it's just meant to like keep it all nice. Clean and nice. Yeah. And you take laxatives. So it's just all liquid.
Okay.
It's totally fine. And so I have another one. And
so how long is the healing process? That's it. Like
it's week? 2 weeks bath.
2 weeks.
Baths. But you can go and do whatever you want.
2 week laxatives or no? Because that's when the first solid shit comes back out. That's my worry that it's going to open up.
No, but it's fine. I mean, your body like heals, and he does it so perfectly. And the cauterize. That's why you do the cauterizing, because it heals so nicely. Okay. And so the stitches are when it gets messy and fucked up.
Yeah.
But it was a dream, and that's why I'm like, I will go back tomorrow and get another one.
Oh fuck. Okay, so when you had the outie hemorrhoid, has your boyfriend seen them?
This was years. I was actually with a different guy, and this is why it flared up, because we had sexual intercourse the night before, and so it was kind of, it got irritated, and so then during the night I was like, oh, I think I've fucked something up here. This is really bad, and so then I left his house in the morning, went straight to the doctor, and then that's what happened. But
see, this is why I can't do anal, because it hurts.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. Oh yeah, by the way, so when he was in there, he gets in there and he feels inside. This also doesn't work in the bit, but he goes, oh yeah, just as I thought. Yep, you've got 3. And I went, 3? And he goes, everybody has 3. You're not special. And I was like,
that's the funniest.
And I was like, yeah, oh, that's very hurtful, you know? And so literally everyone has 3 inside. That's just what it is. I didn't make the rules. It's literally what happens. Everybody has 3 inside. But if yours is inflamed, my 3 inside, I can't feel, they're not inflamed.
Yes.
So your one, just because it's inside doesn't mean it doesn't need to come out. But if it's inside, how do they get it out?
That's the thing. If it pops out, it's popping off.
Yeah.
We're not keeping them around.
Yeah.
If Glenn Royd.
Oh, you call him Glenn?
I call him Glenn. If Glenn comes out for a minute, he's out of here.
Great. I'm gonna give you this guy's number. He's fucking great.
No, please. Anybody, we'll tag the guy.
We should. Yeah, he is so fun. He makes it seem like a breeze. I went back there. I thought I had.
You play another one?
Oh my god! I thought I had.
What?
Oh my god! I forgot. I thought I had anal warts.
Oh no.
And I went back in there and I was like, I love this guy so much. And he was looking around, he's like, doesn't look like
you just like this guy looking at your asshole.
Yeah,
you're just going back for the bits.
He didn't even charge me because I was like, so I was in there, I was crying and I was like, someone's giving me anal warts.
Oh my
I don't know what's going on.
God.
And it turned out I had just like cut myself shaving, because he goes, it's very weird because it's like a straight cut in the thing. And then like 2 days later, I called him back and I was like, I forgot. I'm in there crying in his office, and we're sitting down. We're talking about like, unprotected semen. What do you think this is? Anyway. And he was going to cut a little bit off and send it to the lab. And
God.
He's the fucking best.
This guy is Professor Anus. He knows everything back there. He's seen a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's your full-time. Right now, he's looking at an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
I always think about that.
I've been told I have a nice asshole.
Well,
by one man.
Really?
And he was an asshole, so I feel like he wouldn't have. He
was
used to
it
call
while
me,
you were having sex?
Yeah, but he used to call me roly-poly.
Oh.
Roly-poly toly. So the fact that man who called me fatty was saying I have a nice asshole, I'm like, I'm going to take that compliment. Now I don't know anymore because there's definitely no roids back then.
But it was inside anyway. You can't see it.
But you could feel it.
Have you seen your butthole?
Oh, yeah. What are you not looking at?
What do you think?
Every morning I wake up and I go, top of the morning to you, little guy. And I give him a little bit of coffee and we're like, woo! That's how I start my day. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I've seen nicer buttholes, and I've seen a lot of bad ones. A lot of anal fissures. Not on mine,
had
but
a
on
fissure.
I had a fissure years ago, and they gave me this foam. It was the worst medical thing ever. Because anal fissure is like the cut, right?
Yes.
It's like a butt cut, and it doesn't go. And they're like, "Here's this foam," and I remember like leaning over, being like I felt like I was
this was another part of the bit.
Clown.
At the end of the hemorrhoid thing, he shoves a piece of foam up there, and a foam up there to soak up all the blood. And he goes, "Now, whatever you do, don't go fishing up there and try to pull that out." And I was like, I think we'll be okay. I'm not gonna go, fish. Say it doesn't work. And so I forgot. Yeah, I got an anal fissure because when I was a kid, I used to not shit.
Same.
Yeah.
I couldn't go publicly. I rolled it for so long.
I just wouldn't, because I was like, I can either go now at school for some reason, smell out this toilet in front of all my friends, or I can just wait until I get home. And then when I get home, I don't need to go. And then I would literally go for like 2 weeks without shitting. And I'm 7.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
And then I just got into like that habit, I think. And then when I was 19, I was like, oh my God, I got a worse stomachache. And I went to work and I could feel like this hard
lump thing.
Yeah. I went to the doctor and they're like, it's shit. And they prescribed me laxatives.
We're very similar. I've also gone to the doctor because they thought it was appendicitis. It was shit.
You thought it was appendicitis?
I had shit in a week. Look at us bonding over our buttholes. Well, it's segment time.
Okay.
It's segment time.
We
you damn well know we love my segments. What is the worst body thing you've ever heard?
Oh, my mom telling me about childbirth.
What do you mean? How did she explain it?
She said it was the most horrific thing she'd ever experienced in her entire life. And then wonders why I don't want to have kids.
Did she give like details on it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, give me some details.
So my brother comes through, and she said, absolutely wrecked me. Hey, absolutely tore me apart. So she got ripped apart and then had the stitches.
Oh yeah.
To get her back up.
Yeah.
And then I come through, ripped her apart again. So, and also, she's had problems forever since. It's like people don't talk about the horrors of childbirth until like Facebook came around. I'm like, Amir says it's my what is it? My, when you have an agenda. Oh yeah, he goes, this is my agenda. Like I'm out here. Like anytime we see like a family fighting on the TV, I'm like, it looks pretty fucking bad, huh? And he's like, all right, we get it. Yeah. Because I'm like such an advocate for not having kids, because I think that nobody really ever talked about how bad and horrific it was and how much you hate your body afterwards and how much your body is fucked and full of stretch marks and your lips are sagging. And I once saw a YouTube video and this chick's, it was literally this up to down was fucking this big, and I saw placenta just fucking barreling out of there. Oh God. So it's called tocophobia. I have fear of pregnancy and childbirth. Oh. And so I physically, I can't.
You couldn't even do like a C-section. That's
no. I don't want kids. I can't do it. I'm fucked. And I was trying to gonna go to hypnosis to
really
fix my brain about it, because I think my mom told me way too early about how fucking horrible it was and how much pain and she, like I said, she's still fucked, and I think she just had a hysterectomy. She's had all these bladder problems from being pregnant fucking 70 years ago.
Fuck. Well, now you're scaring me. I didn't know it was this long.
Do you want kids? Oh no.
I don't know if I do. I go through moods. I'm kind of like a stepmom.
But I also never wanted kids. Yeah, I don't want kids anyway.
Then
but did I not want them from the thing? Also, they told me when I was 19, because of my scar here and because of my bone thing,
Yeah.
the doctor when I was 19 was like, oh yeah, but has anyone told you that childbirth is going to be really painful for you, like more painful like than normal than other people? And I was like, oh cool. And he's like, not even just the childbirth, but like the 9 months of carrying it around, like your body won't be able to, you'll be just be in so much pain because
Yeah.
the weight of the baby on your bone is going to fuck you over. And I'm like,
You're like, oh, cool.
so
cool.
good thing I don't want them. I'm already 36. I can't think anytime in the next 10 years when I would be able to have a thing that I need to teach how to read.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you to speak and read and have a thing that is going to depend on me, and for me to not fuck that thing up.
Well, you're fucking
Wild.
doing shows every night and trying to continue the
Yeah,
career.
man.
It's a lot. My mom told me like a horror. Well, she held it for years. My mom had a miscarriage of 2 twin boys after me. After me, and I was like, like one died in the womb, and then the other one got like sick from it. Yeah, and so she had, and she was like far along.
Is your sister older than you?
Younger, she's 3 years, but she was like 4 months along. So they were like, and I'm like, the image. She did my podcast. I tried to bring it up, and I didn't want to like force it out.
Yeah.
But I was like, the image of having to pass them is fucked.
Yeah.
Like 2 dead. Like that's fucking. I know. Like that's
Did
like
she
torturous.
look at them, or did she make them take it out?
I didn't. I've tried to ask her before, and I don't.
Yeah.
I could tell she doesn't. And then she had my sister right after, and thank God, and my sister is like the best. So I was like,
Yeah.
it's good. But I was like, yeah. And if she had them, then she wouldn't have had my sister, and so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm glad. No, I'm kidding. I do love my sister.
That's
so much, but it's horrific. So, and I'm like, is that like?
Because you still have to kind of have. You still have to.
You still
push
have them.
and
Yes.
have them.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm like, and there's like twins in the family, and I was like, I'm worried that if I had kids, I'd have twins. Nothing wrong with that. I'm like, that's a lot. That's having 2 kids at once doing this whole thing. It seems like a lot.
Don't you? This might be my confirmation bias, but every person in my entire life who I've ever met, including a man who stopped me on the street when I was 22 and was fucking pulling his little shit kid along, was like, and just turned to me and just said, never have kids. That happens to me every fucking day. I saw a chick last night and she goes, oh, my fucking stretch marks, I fucking hate my body, blah, blah, blah. She's like, don't do it, never do it. Every day of my life, I swear to God, somebody tells me not to have kids.
Okay.
Everyone is miserable. Everyone with kids is miserable. Oh, sorry.
This is wild because like this is clearly it feels like an omen. Like this is a lot of people saying this to you and like drilling this in. Like,
Yeah.
You don't have. Yeah. I don't know. I go through moods.
I also am like, I feel so free. Also, everybody hates me now because most people do want kids, and now I'm sitting here saying you're all miserable.
I don't think
Everything
so.
sucks.
No.
But I am just so deeply like, I have nightmares. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I have nightmares. Sometimes I wake up on the operating table and I'm pregnant and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't want this. What the fuck? Like I have nightmares.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, I don't think anyone's going to. I think it's very nice to hear this side of it because there is this fucking pressure. And I don't know if you felt this from your parents, but my parents are constantly like, oh, well, and now they have a boyfriend. They're like, oh, so, and I'm like, I don't know if I fucking.
3 months.
I know. I'm like, I don't fucking know if I want one. And it's like, I hate, especially our age. And then I keep getting well, if you want one, better do it now. And I'm like, don't tell me this.
It's also, hey, guess what? If I'm not in the right time, in the right space, it might not happen. I'm sorry. I'm not going to have a kid just because next year I might not be able to have one and then bring a kid into a fucking thing that I'm not ready for. And then I'm a fucking terrible mom. Yeah. I would be one of those moms who would have postpartum depression and put my fucking kid in the dryer because I couldn't deal with it crying all the time. Yeah. And I know that. I'm like, even like when I have to look after Amir's dog, if it needs to pee like twice in an hour, I'm like, I can't fucking do it. I'm working. I'm busy. You know?
Yeah.
And
I think honestly, I do think there are a lot of women like this, but they just don't talk about it this openly.
Nobody talks about it because you know what? My entire life, and I knew from day one that I didn't want kids. And I remember I was 19. This girl goes to me, "There's something wrong with you if you don't want kids." And I was like, "Why can't I just be evolved enough to not want to have one? I don't have a biological drive to want to have one." And also, it doesn't fit my fucking lifestyle.
No, and that's it. It's your fucking body, your choice. That's it. It's crazy that people say anything.
And it's also crazy, like when people. It stopped. Well, my mom always, because people always, this is also so disrespectful and condescending when people go, oh, you'll change your mind. Yeah. I'm like, I'm almost 37. You think I'm just going to change my mind when my whole life this has been a terrifying subject for me, so much so that, you know, I've a ruined relationship like 2 months in going, by the way, if you want kids, then we can't, you know? Yeah. And my mom has stopped now. She goes, I wouldn't want to have a kid in this day and age. And my mom's the best fucking mom in the whole world. I do honestly, truly believe that. And she's like, I would never have a kid now in 2022. Like,
Yeah.
it's so fucking scary. And she has now stopped her friends who keep saying, oh, she'll change her mind. She'll change her mind. She said, actually, she won't.
And stop.
And I'm like, thank you for having my back finally, because it's also a big weight off my shoulders, because I was always like, oh, will I change my mind? Like, I don't think I will, but it's such a fucking weight off my shoulders to be like, that's not happening.
No.
There is no pressure on me. There is no timeline. I don't have to worry about fucking anything. I can just live my life and it's fine. And that, having that big thing taken away and the decision has been made for me is like,
yes, it must feel like a nice.
Oh my God.
And Amir doesn't want.
he wants them.
He does. No.
He wants them. I think I convinced him though. I know he's the one after the 2 months when I because he was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if we had a little? And I was like, yeah,
like,
it was so fun. And then I went home, had a mental breakdown, called my therapist, was like, I don't know what to do. He's going to break up with me. Blah, blah, blah. And so I went to him the next day and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry last night when you said the thing. I can't. And I told you there was a 1% chance. There's not even a 1% chance. It's something that I cannot do. And if you want to break up with me right now, then I completely understand. This was 2 months. And he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a psychopath. And I was like, actually, I'm not, because if this is something that you really want, we should have talked about this on day one and we should have never gone together.
Yeah.
And so, but I think I've convinced him now, because I'm like, my agenda, I'm like, look how fucking terrible they are. Look at these kids. Fucking
And you guys just fucking touring. Look, I saw you in Chicago, just having a fucking blast.
Yeah, man. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you bringing it? Are you like, what are you?
Just leaving it in the car.
It's just in the car.
Just in the car. Let's finish up my. This is. I'm not cutting you off, but I am cutting you off.
That's fine.
Sorry?
Oh wow, we are getting.
Yeah, we gotta go. What
it's 2:30.
Is the funniest way you think you could die?
Okay, so I wrote this in the email. I got sideswiped by a car. I pulled out of a thing and accidentally cut some guy off. But he was, whatever. He was in a stolen car. So as we turned the corner, he got the car and just went bang into the side of my car. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I'm going, what do I do? My fucking car is all smashed in. This guy's sped off down the road. And so I just call the cops and I'm like, hello, this guy's just fucking hit on me. They're like, stop, where are you? You know, what's his license plate? I'm like, his license plate, I'm following him, like, it's 3E7, da da da. And they were like, you have to stop. I was like, no, I'm going to get him. You meet me here. Like, meet me at the intersection. I'll be there. And they never did. And I stopped. And I actually drove to the police station. This is in Perth, and it was 4:30 p.m. on a Friday, and I'm fucking crying. I'm fucking banging on the door. I can see one guy, and I'm like, help me, and he goes like this. We're close. We're in the police station. We're close. And I'm fucking crying in the garden. Anyway, so I thought it'd be funny if they swiped me and I died. I don't know. Is that good when he just fucking whack?
And that's it.
And that's how I die?
That's how you
like
die.
Like a little
just
Mario Kart.
Yeah, a little side swipe.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a very eventful podcast. Thank you so much for sharing all these great stories. I love when a guest brings on some stuff. Where can the people find you, Sarah?
I am at the Sarah Lawrence on Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
That's it. Follow her Instagram. Go fucking watch her live. And don't pressure women if they don't want to have fucking children. Thank you for listening. Yes. Thank you, All Things Comedy. Watch the full episodes on YouTube. They're on my channel, Steph Tolev. Thank you so much, and good evening. That's how we're going from now on.
Is it?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that you should.
I'm never. Oh, good evening. Oh, good evening.